CG things.
What is up, you guys? My name is Texan. This is my channel. Yep, Dragon Ball Super Card Game Things, and today we're going to take the time to go over my local first place winning Vegeta Boppity profile. This is a deck that I've been wanting to play in person for a very long time now. With all the coronavirus restrictions going on, there's been like no IRL events, but this weekend I was able to get to local, and I ended up taking first. The second place profile I did end up posting. It's the Invoker, Nathan's Invoker, so that is the second place. But let's get right into mine. This is first place for the week. So if you don't know the leader, on his front side he has Overlord, and when he has an auto upon attack, he gets to rip a card from his life and then take the top card of his deck, and then he gains +5 and double strike. Cool thing about this leader is his awakening ability is at 5 or less. You can switch 2 of your energy back up to active and flip him over. Really good for getting the chain rolling fast. And then on his backside, he also has Overlord once per turn, and then instead of an auto on attack, it's going to activate main. So before attacking you during your main phase, you'd rip a life, draw a card, and then get +5 double strike. And then his other activate main is tap 1 green, mono green energy, and then you get to look at the bottom card of your deck, and if it's a servant Vegeta, you can play it. So that's the leader. So moving right into my deck profile, we're going to talk about the boo package. I won 2 of the Hachiyak. This guy, you just tap 1, you discard him from your hand, you get to grab a Bibbidi from your deck and play it. This is the Bibbidi you do so. I run 4 of this. So when you use Hatch, you grab this, and then this guy's auto is once he gets played, you get to either look at the top 7 for a Vegeta or grab a Majin the Quickening. Very rarely will you play this to grab a Vegeta, but sometimes it does happen. So I run only 2 of the Majin Quickenings. I had this at 3, but I really did not like how often I ended up within my hand. And then during testing, I found that after I knocked it down to 2, it was alright. Some games I'd end up with 1 in life, but after all of my testing, I still have not ended up with both of them in my life. So that is where I'm at with that. So moving into the Boo chain. So once you get to 4 cards underneath the Majin Boo Quickening, in case you don't know, every time you take a life, so with your leader swing or anything like that, opponent's attacks, unison's permanent, you get to use this card's effect, or you have to use this card's effect. When you take a life or crit it, you get to take the top card of your deck and place it underneath this. Once you get 4 underneath this, you get to put this in the drop area, grab a 3-drop from your drop area or deck and play it. So these are my 3 drops I'm playing. I'm playing 2 of this Boo. This Boo looking for a fight, he has deflect, and then when he gets played, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. Really good for removal. I only really play it when I'm scared of responses, first one to responses. I run 1 of this guy. This would get sided out in most of my matchups just because I really only use this for green. This is where I can get this card on field without having to worry about Frieza. Charismatic villain. And then I run 2 of this card. This is the card I play most of the time when I'm getting to my 3-drop. The reasoning behind this card is because I'd normally play this out turn 2. And turn 2, if I went first, leaves my opponent at 1 energy. So not very many decks are going to get a Unison on field or anything like that to respond to this card. So I do like, even if I have the 7-drop in hand, I like getting this guy because he gets to go in your deck and grab another 7-drop. So even if you have a 7-drop, it's an extra 5k combo power to have. And then obviously the ball, because you put the ball underneath the Boo and you get to go look for a 5-drop. So I run 4 balls. The rest of the Boo package consists of these 3. We got 3 of the 5-drop Majin. Basically, this guy's auto is when he comes into field, I get to knock a marker off my Unison, and then my opponent has to knock a marker off of his Unison, pitch a card from hand, and remove 1 of his own cards from field. Very good card. Has a lot of effects for that knock 1 marker. I think that's very, very good. I run 3 of the Majin Boos. Reasoning behind 3 is because I wanted to keep my deck list at 50, and also because most games I just use the expansion pack Boo to grab it, so I never really struggle seeing that card. Getting into some of the servant Vegeta stuff, we're gonna go with the 2 Dodorias. I run 2 of these Dodorias just because the Violent Rays, really. If Violent Rays hits field and it stops my Boos, it's not gonna stop this card or my 1-drop servant. So if you don't know this card, when he attacks, he rips a card from your life, and then he gets plus 10,000 double strike. This guy, he's a servant, so he always gets plus 10 when he's in field. So you can just tap one. If you're not going to rip a life on his auto, because on his auto is when he gets played, you get to rip a life and gain double strike. But if you don't want to do that, you can just play him for 1 and have a 15k beater, and then be able to use your overlord effect and get a draw off of him. But also, this is another card that I love just because it works around Violent Rays. I bring this up because red, I think, is one of my worst matchups. 3 of the Majin Vegeta 3-drop. This guy's a servant, double striker, auto once per turn. If my opponent activates a counter, I can switch him to active. This card's really good. This is always the first card I swing with if he's going to hit the board in the turn. So very, very good card. Love this card. I wanted to cut this for other things, but this card has too much value in this deck and it scares people from using their negates. So I do love that card. And also you can use Overlord, pick them up, put them at the bottom deck and draw, and then be able to 1 energy cast them again next turn. So moving into some of the more defensive stuff about the deck, we do run Demagra. I run 4 of this Demagra, and I was testing the Piccolo Unison. I was testing this a lot, this card right here, as my primary Unison for this deck. This card on paper has so much benefits. Your opponent, once they take one of your leader double strikes, they're going to have 7 in hand, and then you can use the activate main to +1 and play it. And then you get, and then you +1 and bring them up to 2, and then you and your opponent draw, and then you get to choose a 1-drop in your hand and play it. So like you can free cast this and search up Vegeta. You can free cast this and have a 15k double striker. Free cast this, have a 15k double striker. Along with him, he's another double striker. The thing is with this deck, if you're going turn 1, your turn 2, your opponent's probably not gonna have 7 cards in hand because they're gonna want to try to survive some of your hits. So they're gonna combo them. They're gonna use Violent Rays, so that's -2 from hand. Things like that. I just found that this card was way too situational. And Demagra, to me, just made the deck more consistent because he is also a 15k beater. Though he is a 5k, that's the only, in my opinion, the only benefit about this card is if you do get him out, he's a 15k. So your opponent can't just swing at him easily with like 10k bodies or whatever and knock his markers off. While this card is a 5k, he also has the permanent that I can use to rip a life from my life, to where I can use this effect and speed up the process for my Majin and quickening. So I did lean with Demagra. I felt like this had a lot of good stuff, but this had more. So that's where I'm at with that. 4 Demagra Unison. Moving into my super combo. If you're playing Majin and you're not playing Great Saiyaman, you're probably doing it wrong. This is the set 11 super combo rare. This came out for every color. It's basically bottom deck 1 card from hand. If you're at 4 or less, it gains plus 10k, and then you draw 2 cards. And then for more of the defensive package, we got 4 Dormants. I love my Majin deck. It's really aggressive, but if I don't kill turn 2, I need this. I need this in my hand. So I added 4 of this. So that stays there. And then I also run 3 Charismatic Villains. I love this card. I did have it at 4 for a while, but I found that if I don't establish my Demagra, this is a dead card in my hand. It's just a 5-card combo, and I ended up charging it a lot, like turn 2 or turn 1, because I was not going to plan on playing this on my turn 1. Normally turn 2 this comes out because turn 1 I'm doing this combo to get my Majin quickening started. So I decided 3. 3, I can still see it, still be effective if I need it, and it also stops a couple things when I'm swinging. If they want to use like a body negate, I can just kill the negate, have an extra 10k swing just to apply some more pressure. So getting into the last few cards of the deck, guys, I went with Ss4 Bardock. This is probably my favorite overarm in the game right now. This card comes out and it applies 2 attacks at 25k. So this guy is either going to take a negate or 2 from hand, or it's going to take a dormant, it's going to take a Violent Rays, or it's going to take a lot of cards to combo out of these guys' attacks. So this card I found is so much better than like other cards that people that consider is like Super Saiyan 3 Goku Man on a Mission. Card's really good, but after playing with my buddies, they did explain to me that that card's super easy to get around. 1 negate, 1 combo, 1 super combo, and that card's just nothing. So I figured this card, it is a lot better. It supplies 2 extra attacks. It's nasty. And then because I don't have Majin Broly, this is my secret rare for the deck. This actually did help me win a game. I was versing Invoker for the finals, and they were stalling the game out a lot. So after I established this guy turn 2, he topo'd me. So I had to end my turn, and then I passed, waited for him to get his turn over with. He gave it back to me, and I started with a swing with him, and he violent raised. So I countered his violent raise with this. He got the restand. He still had to deal with my leader's double strike, this guy's double strike, and this 40k double strike. So this actually did help me get a game. So that is my deck for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my Majin deck. I enjoyed playing it at locals a lot. It did give me a good W, so this is the profile for it, guys. If you guys are new here, do me a favor, go ahead and go down there in the bottom, hit a like, drop me a comment, hit me a subscribe if you like the video, if you like my content. I will be dropping first place locals all the time. I didn't want to do one of my own profiles for my very first locals, so I did take Nathan's. If you guys want to see that video, the link is down in the description. It's also up on my channel. You can go check that out. That is the invoker list that I versed for finals that I ended up winning against. And if you guys want to look at the list, I'm going to be posting an actual list at the end of this video, so you can look at the list without having to look at this. And then also our records, what I versed and stuff like that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yo, what's up? Yo, we're hosting tonight. You free? Yeah. Alright, I'll see you there.
It's midnight, we're going all night. Can you pass a drink to get the vibe right? Don't feel like having a Bud Light. How's tequila with some salt and lime? Oh my, am I alright? Thanks for asking, doing just fine. Can I say that you're looking real nice? We'll love to chat right now before I get high. When you gaze into my eyes, I feel like